Broadcast live.
My name is Sishii, and I'm an actor and a musician. I wrote my first song when I was 13 years old.
Well, being childish ain't no way to beat about it, 'cause I'm the only one you ever think about.
I've always loved writing, it's English, reading. So I wanted to figure out how I can do it, whether or not I sing or rap, whatever. There was a time when I tried to rap. Never doing that again. And then, I started, when I was 13. I've been writing songs ever since as a way to express myself and what I feel. I've always wanted I've always wanted to be a performing artist, but I'd say that my first audition, which was in 2017, it was actually my first audition. Did about 6, 7, 8 callbacks, a lot of callbacks, didn't get that part. And then I got a phone call a couple of years later to say, hey, we saw your audition from a couple of years ago. Would you be interested in auditioning for this? And that was Gomorrah. So that's how that came about. I did musical theater when I was a kid, but that's it, but no formal training, no. I mean, now I have somebody I work with, a coach, but no, I don't have like a qualification in it, no. So Night in the Hills is called A Night in the Hills because I went to the University of Cape Town, which is a university that is right on a mountain, on a mountain range. So it's about my time at university. I wanted to feel like one night out, but it's actually a series of events for 4 years. The 4 years I spent at the University of Cape Town, among those hills. Yeah, a lot happened to me while I was in university. A lot of it is on the tape, so you can go and listen to it for that. But there were ups and downs, highs and lows, very extreme highs, nights out with the homies, having good times, going there, a strong Christian who wanted to go glorify God, and then feeling temptation and then giving into temptation, then, dealing with my own mental health and thoughts that I had and things I did to myself, and then also finding love and heartbreak. So yeah, it's all on the tape though. So if you want to find out the intricate details, go listen to it. So Lost Interlude is a voice note from my aunt. It's real. So that was in 2016, at the end of my first year at university. I was thinking, I was very suicidal. And, at the time, the only way I could talk about it was in my music. I couldn't tell anyone, just felt like it was wrong and I shouldn't be feeling this way. My aunt found one of my lyrics, a song that I'd written. And I told her about it and what it meant, but I was like, it's not that deep, like, don't worry, relax. She's like, no, it's deep, we're gonna deal with this. And I'm like, no, like, it's not that deep. And she's like, it's deep, we're gonna deal with it. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. So all the skits are actually real things. But what I love the most about this project, it's very much for me. It's very much like helping me deal with my own things, heal, I guess, if you want to say that. So none of them are over dramatizations or exaggerations. No. That's exactly what happened. The skit with, my homie saying, yo, come on, let's go, let's go to the club. That was real. And at the time, spending 6,000 Rand on bottles, and he's like, yo, you spent 6,000 Rand, come through. It's a good time. It was, that was unheard of at the time. Then obviously the skits with my aunt, and then the skits at the end with the big fight and finding, what I found. And I don't want to get too deep into it. So in terms of balancing acting and music, the truth is I've never really balanced it. To say that there's this strict timetable I have where I'm like, okay, 3 hours today I'm working on my acting and my accents. 3 hours after that, I'm in the studio and I'm writing. Then 2 hours, I'm not good at that. I'm not good at strict timetables and schedules. I'm very much a how do I feel right now. Obviously, there are things that need to be done. And when I need to meet deadlines, I make sure that I meet them on time. But a lot of the time outside of that is very much, right now, I really want to write a song, even if I'm on set. My first project, actually, I don't know if there's any songs of this project, but my first project that I released, a lot of the songs was written like in between takes. So I did, do my take, cut, they're setting up the next take, and I'm like, wait, man, I've got an idea, and I'm writing this idea down. So a lot of the time, it's very, I guess, sporadic, yeah. Producer that I've been working with, that I've worked with for some years now, is Jordan Clem. He's produced majority of my stuff, if not all of it. Yes, and on this project, I worked with a very close friend of mine, Abo Boy. He's, one of my best friends, and he understands, my story and some of the things I went through, and that's why it felt right to work with him on this. I worked with Manana on this. He's also a close friend of mine on some of the songs. Bubele Boy and David Balshaw, they're called The Imports. We worked on a song in 2019, worked on the song Hey Stana, which is also on this project. And then, the other usual suspects like Scales, he plays the keys, phenomenal. Jaden Lewis produced I Don't Dance, working with him now more. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody, but yeah, those I'd say are the usual suspects. And Milan Rendo, who's my also very, very close friend of mine, my manager, and sometimes we work on music together as well. So my thoughts on the trajectory of R&B in South Africa is that I think R&B is becoming more and more alternative, just globally. There used to be a time when R&B, it was clear, this is what R&B is, Boyz II Men. It was very clear in the 90s that this is what R&B is defined as. Whereas now there's a lot of alternative. All of it is R&B. A lot of people say R&B is dead. I don't think R&B is dead. I think what's happening is there's a reinvention of it. And people are finding ways to be very kind of individualistic about it, and this is how I can use R&B to tell my story, even if it's not about how I'm in love with this girl. This is about how I'm, really sad right now, or this is how about I'm really happy right now, or this is about God, or this is, so I feel like what's happening to R&B is that it's molding, to accommodate different people from different backgrounds now. And I'd say that South Africa we're seeing a similar thing. Someone I really look up to is Manana and how he's using R&B. But we had Elaine as well a couple of years ago, who just took off, and that was at the time unheard of, and it's still, a wonderful thing. So I think it's continuing to grow. I just don't think in the trajectory that people expected it to grow. It's growing wide, and not necessarily this is it and it's growing up. It's humbling. It's very humbling to know that, God is speaking to people through my music. There are people who have said that they are healing themselves. I get a lot of personal messages where people say, personally, this is what I'm going through. And when I listen to this, it just made me, So I'm like, I feel like, the work is being done, by God. And mine is just to continue to be the vessel and laying out the red carpet in those sessions and hoping that God's gonna walk in today. That's my job, really. I'm not the one who does it all. So where I'm at in my faith journey is I'm being more and more humbled every day by how strong God is in my weakness, and learning more and more that I'm not the guy. Actually, this morning I was reading the Bible. I was reading about John the Baptist, and I was like, I'm not the guy. Like, a lot of the time I'm like, I tried to write this song, this idea's not coming together. I thought my performance would be more nuanced, and it wasn't on, I'm watching myself on screen, I hate it. I'm listening to myself, I hate my voice. Oh no, I hate it all. I thought I would be better, I wanna be better. And I'm like, actually, I'm not the guy. Like, I'm just the vessel. And more, that's what God is showing me in my life. And that's more what I want to be now as well. I don't want the pressure. I really don't want it. I just put it on Him. and he'll handle it. And it's wonderful to know that the work's already done. I'm already forgiven. I'm already in good standing, no matter how bad I think I look. So I'd say that's where I'm at. And yeah, I mean, the way the EP ends off is on this really somber note, like, home no more, you know, God is no longer my home. It's, you know, but I did that on purpose because it was kind of it's a backstory for what's gonna come, and I don't want to give too much about what's gonna come, so.
Broadcast live